Hey Internet! Yesterday I did a very tiny short video because I had had a long day at work, and today I promised a really long video. Well, not really long, but longer than usual, longer than a minute. So I looked through the comments of the previous video and I had 3 people tell me that I should talk about the same thing, so I'm going to do that right now. Spider-Man 1991, very appropriate, said, "You should talk about Marvel now." Maybe not 3 people. Eric Boyer said, "Since you reviewed some things from the New 52, maybe talk about what Marvel is doing with Marvel now." Okay, so I lied, alright? Not 3 people, only 2. Alright, so I am going to talk to you today about Marvel Now. Now, Marvel Now, for you that don't know, is sort of like the DC New 52. Like, the New 52, like that right there. Except not Batman, and a lot less cooler. No, I'm not saying... I'm getting off the wrong track. Alright, just stay back. Stay with me. It's okay. Don't scare away, people. Now, Marvel Now is basically Marvel's relaunch, like the New 52, except instead of wiping out all the past history and saying, hey, none of that stuff that you've been reading forever has existed, Marvel is still saying that everything that you've read existed, except now it's better and it has new costumes and Captain America has a helmet. That's pretty much it. And all the writers that were writing the previous titles before pretty much stayed, and they just flipped books. It's like they threw darts at a dartboard and were just like, yeah, I guess I'll take Spider-Man now. Although the Spider-Man writer stayed, so that analogy doesn't work. I'm horrible at metaphors and analogies today. But anyways, so Marvel Now. My opinion of Marvel Now so far. Well, when they first announced Marvel Now and they started showing some images, I was kind of excited. I mean, seeing an image like this with Mike Allred on FF, I was like, woo, this looks pretty cool. And, so I bought the first issue. Seeing the first image of Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, one of my favorite writers, seeing this, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, all right. And then also seeing Mark Bagley, who I think gets a lot of crap, but I like him, so deal with the internet. And Matt Fraction, who's another good writer, did a really good Iron Man run, taking over Fantastic Four, and I bought that one. Now, I was initially excited. And the Avengers, I thought, had a fantastic first issue. I thought Thor had a fantastic first issue. I thought the Fantastic Four had a fantastic new issue. I thought they set up the Fantastic Four to go into space and be adventurers. That's really cool. Oh, Thor. Well, let's do this multi-time period piece where we see Thor from 1,000 years ago, Thor from now, and Thor in the future. Oh, okay, I can get behind that. Let's take Captain America out of the spy business, and let's put Captain America in a sci-fi adventure. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. I dig it. But here's the problem. Now, naturally, as you can tell from the shelf behind me, I am a little bit more of a DC fan than a Marvel fan. My heart leans a little bit more DC than it does Marvel. But that does not mean that I do not like Marvel and that I hate Marvel. I like them both just as much. And independent comics the same. Like, that's why I love the Six Gun and stuff like that. Marvel Now, I think, was a good idea. And, it's a mixed bag, Do you keep the old continuity and pleasure all the pleasure? Where'd I go with that? Do you please the incoming older fans and such, or do you just wipe clean and go hard? And honestly, I tend to be a guy that says wipe clean and let's just go fresh up. I think the biggest problem with the New 52 is that they decided to keep the old Batman storylines and the old Green Lantern storylines, and then say everything else didn't happen, but Batman and Green Lantern did. What? See, I think they should have just wiped it brand new, and we should have had a young 12-year-old Dick Grayson again, and a new Batman. And it's all from their first year, not this 5-year later crap. First year, and just rock hard into it. And you know what, to be honest with you, I think Marvel should have done the same thing. I like new Marvel Now. It's cool, but it's not different enough. I'm a reader that I don't mind change, and I don't mind reboots. That's why I love the new Battlestar Galactica. I'm okay with a reboot. I'm more about, let's get the writer in there. Let's have him tell a definite story, beginning, middle, and end, and then he just leaves. And that's it. And when somebody new comes in, well, hey, if they want to retell the origin of Captain America, then just let them do it. Let them do it. I will tell you some of my favorites, though, so far, the title. Fantastic Four's been okay. I was buying that, but I stopped because Amazon posted that they were going to have the trade paperback of Fantastic Four, and it was going to be cheaper than buying all the issues by themselves. So I was like, all right, Marvel, I'm going to save me some scratch, you know what I'm saying? Avengers was the same way. I bought the first 2 issues of Avengers, and then I saw that their first trade paperback was going to be cheaper than the actual issues, so I was like, you know what? Haha. Alright, same with FF. So actually, in actuality, I'm not buying any Marvel Now titles right now. You know why? Because the trade paperbacks are cheaper. I like the ideas. I think Fantastic Four is getting a little bit boring. I have a soft spot for the Fantastic Four. Captain America, while interesting, maybe they collected additional, read better. Avengers is really good, but it kind of seems like it's so slow that nothing's really happening. And that's just my thoughts right now. Maybe it'll read better in the trade. I'll tell you once I buy that trade. But, you know, I do have some soft spots for the Marvel characters. And I have soft spots. Before I get into the soft spots, you know, and expose myself nether regions of comics, let me just tell you that I will say the best title of Marvel Now that I did not think would be, and never thought would be, is All New X-Men by Brian Michael Bendis. And I'm not a big Brian Michael Bendis fan. The only Brian Michael Bendis I like is Daredevil. I love his Daredevil run. Didn't really like his Avengers. You know, he can get too talky. He can get too talky where his comics are just talking head, talking head, talking head, talking head, talking head, talking head. And the entire time you're like, would somebody punch somebody, for God's sake? Just one fist. All I want to see is one fist right in somebody's kisser. Never happens. His just talk. But his All New X-Men is quite good. You know, there's enough punching and violence to my taste. And there's a lot of good character moments. But let me take you through some of my favorite Marvel runs now, and the reason why that All New X-Men is surprising for me, I'm not a big X-Men fan, never have been. X-Men have just been too convoluted, but anyways, one of my favorite X-Men runs is this. Grant Morrison's New X-Men. Loved it. They did this right after the movies, and that's why you can see their costumes are all like this, and they tried to make it more like the movies, and then this team, these 5 people, that's all the X-Men there was. That's my biggest problem with the X-Men, is we gotta have like 200 members of the X-Men. It's like, it's better with 5. And Cyclops beating the Reader, Professor X is in the background, we have Jean Grey, we have Wolverine, we have Beast, and then he had Emma Frost, which was interesting. Nobody had ever done anything. This is my favorite X-Men run of all time. Has a beginning, has a middle, and has an end. And when it ended, I was kind of like, you know what? X-Men, you don't need to go on anymore. You're done. Sayonara. One of my favorites. Another favorite of mine was, I never really liked Captain America. I always thought Captain America outside the Avengers was kind of dumb. I was like, what is Captain America doing? He should just be with the Avengers. Until Ed Brubaker killed him. And then when he killed him, he brought Bucky in as Secondary Cap. And Secondary Cap is way better than Steve Rogers. Like Bucky. That's why I'm really excited about Winter Soldier being Captain America 2 movie. This is good. This is well read. It's crime, it's spy, and this is such a lauded run. That's why I think the Marvel Now decided to go with sci-fi alien Arnim Zolam. But this Bucky as Captain America is so much better because he doesn't have superpowers. He just has a robotic arm. Long story. Just read it. Read it. Here, I'll help you read it. Ready? Here we go. Oh, there you go. You had the whole book. Did you get it? Now, if you had photographic memory, you did. And if you did, right? Know that part on page 36? I know. Yeah, I know. I like that part too. Exactly. Thank you. And moving on, the soft spot of all of Marvel for me is the Marvel First Family, the very first Marvel comic book. And that is Fantastic Four, as done by Mark Waid and Mike Wieringo. I think he's passed away. He was one of my favorite artists. He did a little bit of cartoony. A lot of people call him cartoony, but I don't think he's too cartoony. I think he's just right. And look at his brilliant, look at this brilliant. That's probably not the best example, Mr. Fantastic and the Thing with big guns. But the Fantastic Four, I feel, is just the Marvel Universe that can show you anything. It's just like, oh, we can do anything, we can be everything, and look, we got a guy that's made out of rocks, orange rocks. He looks like hard candy, and who doesn't like hard candy? I like hard candy. You should like hard candy. Old men like hard candy. The Thing is made of hard candy. Mark Waid, this is in 3 hardcovers. You should pick it up. It's really good. But the Fantastic Four. So, Marvel Now. It's tough. It's really, really tough. You know, because I would say, like, the DC New 52. It started out strong out of the gate. Kabam! Flying on all cylinders. And the New 52 right now, I think, is it's okay. It's all right. Marvel Now, I think, started really strong with their first 2 months, and in their 3rd month are okay, and that's what I think about Marvel now. Right now, I don't think it's great. And the trick about that is that it's interesting to note that for me, it took 6 months for the New 52. Well, 6 months to a year for the New 52 to get that way. Whereas in Marvel, it only took 3 issues. It took 3 months, and I was kind of like, oh, okay. And also, my biggest complaint about Marvel now, and this should be fixed. This is a letter right to Marvel right now. Every artist, they redesigned Captain America's costume so he has a Kevlar helmet, which is smart because he's a soldier, right? Makes sense. He would wear a Kevlar helmet, not a stupid mask with no protection. But every other artist draws it different, and that is stupid. Every artist should draw it the same. They should have a creative mandate and be like, you draw this the same, you stupid artist. We're paying you. Draw him with Kevlar helmet, not a stupid mask. That's my biggest beef on Marvel now. This computer watch, day 15, I don't know. I'm not near a thing. So apologies. I just had a sleepy day, and I've just been talking about comics. I hope you enjoy this. If you like these type of rants, you know what? Put in the comments what you'd like me to talk about next. Hopefully, I get my computer back soon, and I got a couple of videos in the pipeline that I'm filming one this weekend. I just filmed one last weekend, and they're going to be coming. They're going to be good, and they're going to be so good that they're going to make you move your arms like this, because that's what people do when they're excited about internet videos, right? Right? No? No? Okay. Also, if you're going to WonderCon, you should buy some tickets, because I will be at WonderCon, and you should look for me. That's what I'm saying. I'll be at WonderCon. I'll have more of a beard by then. Maybe. We'll hope. We'll see. All right. There are my thoughts. Be seeing you.